I'm blind. Like I'm all.
Yeah, me too. My
Oh my
keratoconus, me
gosh.
having to squint.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Even when, and then the thing is, like, even with my
Even with
glasses, I'll be
glasses.
like,
Yeah.
what? God, and then I'm even
So
more
I
embarrassed. I'm like,
squinting.
I'm not gonna.
What is going on? It's your boy Caleb. You know, we're already here. We finna chop it up here on Midway Vibes, Chin Wag, just finna catch a vibe. We have a very special guest with us here today. We have someone who has started multiple businesses, who has lost a total of 133 pounds in multiple transformations, someone who has overcame so many challenges, someone who, if without them, I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't be where I am today. So let's give an amazing and a warm welcome to Samantha Santos. How are you doing?
How am I doing? I'm doing good. I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming on. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. How are you doing? Is there anything new happening?
Um. And yeah, there's always something new happening.
Always something new on the horizon.
Yeah. Always something new.
Always something new. Well, I'd love to hear about it here. Is there anything you'd like to
Um.
tell me right off the bat that's so exciting that you like? It's just amazing news that you like. You know when you get amazing news and you feel the need to share. Is there anything like that happening in your life right now?
Um. Yeah, of course. So
Yeah.
amazing news that I want to share with the whole world. That's super cool. Is we are going out of town for the holidays, and that's super exciting because I get to connect with every one of my family members and
Yeah.
connect like my number one. Like I something also exciting that I don't know what to talk about because it's like a struggle right now. Is like we're
Uh-huh.
starting this and there's a lot of like but it's like exciting like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
It's
yeah, I
exciting.
know what you mean. That's for sure exciting though, because you're like starting something new, but it comes like with challenges, and you like learn along the way.
You have to figure it out and stuff. It's
Yeah.
exciting, really exciting.
The what?
I don't go around telling people like I'm starting a new business and I fucking want to pull my hair out. Nah, nothing like that. But
Yeah.
it's exciting in a way that it gives you a rush of doing something new and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that's that I wouldn't have shared with somebody like at HEB. I
Yeah, for sure. I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
yeah.
Yeah. So, what you drinking there? My mouth is really parched too. I should have brought something to drink.
I am drinking some hot tea. I love
Hot
hot
tea? You
tea.
like hot tea?
I love hot tea. I
Hmm.
should have born an English woman.
What kind of hot tea do you drink? Do you have like mint teas or like? Because I know there's a bunch of type of teas, right?
Yeah, so my favorite, of course, is Herbalife tea. But my
Herbalife.
yeah, so my
Yeah.
favorite flavor is lemon and mandarin because I like the tart flavors.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Interesting.
I don't like tart flavors. Tart flavors are not my type of thing. I'm more of like a subtle, like fruit, fruit type of guy.
You don't put or
Uh,
anything
no, maybe like sometimes, like very rarely. It's just like
with
just
that.
straight how it is. Yeah. So, so for those of y'all who do not know, Samantha Santos is Caleb Santos's mom. She is the one who brought me into this amazing universe. She has done an amazing mom. She has done an amazing job as being a mom. But I do have some questions for you as being a mom.
Okay, for sure.
For sure. Okay. So what has been like some of your biggest challenges as being a mom, and like what are some ways that you like overcame those challenges of being a mom?
Okay, so one of the toughest challenges would be
Would be what?
what to do.
What to do?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
because you're like an adult and no one's like telling you right.
yeah,
You can just like make free choices.
exactly. And it's kind of
Yeah.
I think I was sharing this story with you one time where I was like, I couldn't believe you were mine. And I was
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah,
and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe they're gonna let me take him home. Like, oh like but it's just what to do on what I'm before it was a lot different how I used to think. I didn't used to think that, but now I think what is the outcome that I want? Like, do I want him before I used to just do things, I used to just do things and discipline in ways and stuff. So my hardest part is what to do in situations, what to do when you're fighting with someone, or what to do and somebody's bullying you. Like, how do I handle the situation?
Yeah.
And that still is something that I think every time. How do I handle this? Like, what do I do?
Yeah. Well, that's like I can imagine because you're like responsible for a whole nother, a whole
Yeah,
nother human being. Like I'm barely starting to have like my own freedom. Like I've always had freedom, but it's like different now that you're older. Like you just have more, I guess, more decisions of what choices you want to make. And it is kind of like how you're saying, like, what do I do? So like,
yeah,
I can totally see like how that's super like overwhelming and like for sure a challenge because you not only have to make those choices for yourself to lead a better life, but also for another human.
yeah, for sure. That's what it is. It's like, what do I do? And what if I make
Uh,
the wrong choice? Yeah.
yeah.
And then what was the second question? Like the character.
And yeah, like how did you overcome those challenges of like thinking or like questioning like what decisions you should make?
So it's an ongoing challenge for sure, forever.
Yeah.
But I will say this, that what has changed from the past, like my old mom teaching when I was a young mom to now, like I am today, is that's what I was saying. Like for me to look at the outcome, like what do I want from this? Do I?
Yeah.
It's a challenge in myself. Like I have to like really think, and that's why a lot of times, like I don't know if you ever am I coming in clear. Am I coming
Uh,
clear? You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You're kind of like breaking out every now and then, but it's clear for the most part.
Do you know what that comes on? Am I coming in clear?
Uh.
Now,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. What?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, bro. I am
Oh,
having some techniques.
some technical difficulties. Okay, cut. Cut. All right, sorry for that, folks. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we are back and better than ever. So you were saying like how you overcome those challenges and how you like kind of change your like the way you think basically because now you're more directed towards what do you want in the future, what do you want your outcome to be. So like I for sure I do that too, and not in like your situations because we we don't have the same situations, but I use the same tactic and I feel like it has been very useful to me. So how can you explain a little bit more on like how it's been useful for you and maybe some other tools you use if there's any other tools?
Um, so I could break it down like how I used to think and what I know what I think now. So like say you had a situation that you weren't that you weren't listening or you were disrespectful.
Yeah.
Before yeah,
Right before what?
before I would be like, get your ass over here, boy. And I would like but not thinking the consequences of that is you wouldn't be able to come to trust me in situations. You would feel scared. Like that is the outcome of my reaction. Because I reacted that way, that my outcome would be my son is now cannot trust me. He's afraid that I'm going to lose my temper. All these things. And I'm also teaching you to lose your temper. That's okay. But I didn't used to think that far because I was a young mom. I didn't even know like nothing. You know, I was just
Yeah.
young. And I
How old were you? How old were you when you had me?
19.
18.
Yeah. So
Living it up.
babies having babies. But for real, it's like I was just following the example my mom set, which
Yeah.
kind of hard, right? Because you always say growing up, like I'm never gonna be like my mom, and then I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna find something to prop you up a little bit,
Okay.
but you can still talk.
Maybe do you have some headphones too? Maybe because you keep like breaking in and out.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll grab some headphones. Let me see. I have something to tell you. You know these
The AirPods.
Can you hear me better? Yeah, can you hear me better?
The AirPods.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
It's the same?
Más o menos. I think it's actually your service. Do you have like low bars?
No, I have full bars, but this has been happening all damn day. No joke.
What? You
I
need to
have.
send a letter to AT&T.
I'm gonna be like, I am a white woman in America. Okay, so yeah, And so now my whole, am I better now? Am I coming in clear?
Yeah.
If you don't know that quote, Caleb, do you know
I
it?
feel like I've only watched. No, I've only watched Charlie and Chocolate Factory a couple times, and it was like when I was younger. Like I'll see it like when someone else is watching it, but I'll never sit down and watch it. Like I'll just see it like while I'm doing stuff. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay.
I got some
Yes.
water. So I have my little sister brought me some water.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I saw her walking and I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna come in here. She's gonna be wilding. And then she walked in and she like gave me some water. I was like, oh
Yeah,
cool.
that was really nice. I was
Yeah.
telling you about the headphones, the earbuds. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I think earwax comes out in my ear things, and
Mm.
it's so disgusting. Like I wanted to know
Yeah.
if
Or
anybody
do,
else
you
had
don't
that
clean your
same
ears or
problem.
what?
I do, and nothing comes out.
Well, you know you're actually not even
Clear.
supposed, how do you clean your ears? You clean your ears with Q-tips?
I do, and I know I'm not supposed to say put that
Yeah.
in
What are
my
you supposed to
ear.
use if you're not supposed to use Q-tips?
A towel. You're not supposed to put anything smaller than your finger in there.
A towel?
Or like you get a towel and you like wipe it.
Mm. It's
Because you're
very
not even
interesting.
supposed to stick anything in there. You're only supposed to clean the outside of it. But it feels good.
I've heard that.
It feels good to clean your ear with a Q-tip.
Yeah, it does.
You're all doing.
Yeah,
You're like having your orgasm and shit.
you're like, ah, that's the spot.
All right. So
Yeah,
did
so
I
I
finish
think
my whole
actually
topic?
ear, huh?
Did I finish my whole thing? I did, right?
Yeah. But I think like for sure, what was I gonna say? You threw me off when you said that. Your AirPods, like your AirPods, I feel like wax probably does come out. You should probably clean them. You don't clean your AirPods?
No.
No, you should probably clean them. Grab like maybe like a little. What are those things
Wipe.
called? The pins, the clothespins, and you like
Oh,
you press the button, like you push it down, and it like comes out and it's like sharp. I don't know what it's called. Is that what they
what
called?
is that?
Clothespins? There's.
No, because clothespins are horquillas.
Oh, okay. No, it's not that. It's horquillas are the ones you play at that baby shower game, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, no,
yeah.
it's not that. What it is, or you could also grab a paper clip and then just like break the paper clip so you have like the pointy side, and then like grab your AirPod and then like clean your.
Oh, a paper clip. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I see that. Um,
yeah.
so okay, let me go back. I remembered where I left off. Let me finish my thought. If you ever
Okay.
talk to me, this is just exactly how I am.
Yeah.
Thousands of in between conversations. So like now that I've been like working on my mind and my mindset on what like more directed and know what I want, I now look and say, what is it that I want to see happen? Like, do I want to lose my temper and like he never trusts me again? Or how can I approach this that he can come to me? Because in all honesty, in life, you're not going to have very many people that you can go to and trust 1,000%. And I
Yeah,
hope
for
that
sure.
I am that person for you and that you can come and trust me and tell me what you need to say and not feel like I'm going to lose my shit. Like that's my goal, but that's not always how it play out, you know? Like you
Yeah,
know.
I feel like for sure. I feel like for sure you have done like an amazing job on like making that transition for sure. But I feel like there's still like even there's always just gonna be that doubt of like, dang, what's gonna happen? But I think that's just like a natural human reaction. You know what I mean? So I don't know
Yeah.
if you can like kind of make that go away like completely. But I
I
for
don't
sure I feel like for sure like before I was like nah like you were saying like nah like I like really had like no trust in you. It was like have you seen those memes and it's like my trust issue started when my mom said come here I'm not gonna hit you and then you go and then she hits you like that
Yes.
like that's how it
Yes.
was. But like now like for sure like I feel like I can for sure trust you with a lot of things I wouldn't trust like a lot of other people with. But I think there is like just that initial thought of like fear of like what are they gonna say or how are they gonna react because like
Yeah.
whenever I told you like I didn't want to go to college like I was scared like I was like oh my god I was so scared but it wasn't like so much like it was like what were you gonna say but it wasn't like a fear of like you're gonna like go crazy or like lose your shit or something. It was more of just like the fear of like what are you gonna say like how are you gonna react. I think it's just
Yeah.
like more of like the human like the being fear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I for sure feel like you have came a long way. It's been
Well,
pretty
I don't
cool.
it's been a cool to see the transition, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember, like when you told me that, how quiet I stayed for like a very long time.
Yeah, you did. I was
because
scared. I was like, what's going on?
because like in my mind, I was like, okay, like one, this is not my decision. Like I can encourage you to do whatever it is that you want to do or what I think you should be doing, but the whole process in my head was like, what am I wanting to come out of this? What do it like? Blah, I was like 10,000 questions going, and I felt like it was like 30 minutes before I said something. I just stayed there,
Yeah, it was
like
a while. You
freaking
just kind of
yeah,
like
like
sat there.
freaking deer in headlights. I was all. You were like, is she in shock?
I didn't even know what to say. I just kind of
Uh,
sat back down. I was like, I guess you didn't hear me.
and then out of nowhere, I just start talking again.
Yeah. Well, why don't you want to go? What you doing?
Share with me your thought process. And I'm like, that's as best I can get right now. I got to process this for myself.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was like super scared to tell you also because you were like all my like childhood you had told me like I had to go to college. Like college was
Mm-hmm.
not an option for me. And then like my dad, tu marido, was always telling me too, like I go to work with him in like construction labor and like that's no joke. Like I don't want to be doing that. So he tells me too, like, go to college, you don't have to be doing this type of work. So like then I was like I knew I didn't want to go to college and I was like, well, I don't want to go to college, but I also don't want to be doing that type of work. So I was like, what do I do? Like I was stuck in the middle, but then I was like, I just have to do something that like makes me happy, that would be something that I like, that I enjoy, that even on the hard days I can continue doing it. Like, and this also like ties into like how I look at life, what my beliefs are, and like how I live my life because it also varies like what it is. You know what I mean? Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
yeah,
But I remember like you were always telling me like I had to go to college, so it was kind of in my mind like I had to go to college. So and then I remember my junior year, at the end of junior year, you told me, you're like, do you want to go to college? And I had just told you yes because I was like, well, I don't got an option. I was like, I was in a dilemma. I didn't have two options. I had one option. Like that's what I thought. And I remember you told me, you're like, you'd question, you're like, do you want to go to college? And I was like, yeah, I go to college. And then you had said, if you don't want to go to college, you don't have to. Then I was like, oh my God, I don't got to go to college. But then I was still like, it was junior year, so I was like, I don't know what I want to do. So I'll just still go to college. And then senior year, that's when like everything changed. Met Tony Robbins, the #1 life coach in the world. He's changing lives
yeah.
daily. He's
That was
he's an
life
amazing man.
changing.
He's a fine young man, middle aged, 62 years old. 62, right?
Yeah, I think so. 62.
That's crazy. He's 62 years. If you don't know him, he's amazing. You should look him up on YouTube. Like you can find him anywhere actually. He's
Yeah,
like kind of like a life coach, but he is 62 years old and he just had an 8-month-old baby. That's confidence right there that you're gonna be alive for a while. Like
that's
he's top notch.
that's Bible times. Whenever people used to like have babies, right?
hmm
That's how much confidence he has of how much he's taking care of his body. He's like,
Yeah,
no doubt. But he be
yeah,
looking like he's like 40, like
yeah.
for
He looks
real.
super young. Like he looks like late 30s, early 40s, and he's all
Do you
like
remember
62.
do you remember that exercise he said, right? Was like, close your eyes and imagine, what do you see a 65-year-old?
Oh yeah, I do remember
What
that.
do you see? Oh, no, actually he said, what do you see? Is it 60 or I think it was 70, 75-year-old
Yes.
person who what do you imagine when you close your eyes? And then he had you open them and he was like, well, that's who you're going to be because that's what you imagine.
Yeah.
So like you need to switch that perspective of like, when I'm 75, this is who I'm going to be, not like
Yeah.
the vision that you think of like somebody old and fragile. Like you, like I
Yeah,
think we missed
because
the
that's like our
concept. Like,
instant thought. Like I remember during
yeah,
the exercise, like I even thought too, and I was like, "Dang, I'm gonna be viejito." And then like
yeah,
mid exercise, like before he even said it, I was like, "Wait, why do I want to be viejito? Like I want to be like living it up." So I like caught myself before he said it, but then once he said it, he like said it so clear. I was like, "Dang, that's like makes total sense."
yeah,
It's crazy like how powerful our mind is, or it is powerful, and we only use like I don't know if it's 5% or 3% of our brain, but we only use like a small percent of our brain, and it's like it's crazy.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
It is very wild. So back to the mom topic. If you could describe your version of like the most amazing mom, how would she be? Like, what would her qualities be, and what traits would she have?
Her her qualities will be someone who is kind, gentle. I'm listing all these things that I'm not.
I think you're pretty kind.
Like maybe slow to to anger, like very slow,
Like compassion, like compassionate or
compassion.
understanding.
Yeah, understanding, patience. Like I imagine that's my perfect ideal mom. Although I know that's not realistic. That will never happen in any way or form. Like I think a mom Jesus would have to come down for that to happen.
Mom, Jesus. Okay, so then if you say that that's not like realistic, so then what is your realistic version of an amazing mom?
A mom who gives um like her full undivided attention and not have to have like all these other things like swarming around. That would be ideal, like
So
for
like
me.
the quality
Being
one-on-one
present.
time. Yeah, the
Yeah.
presence.
But like so much one-on-one quality that there is nothing else that could intervene. Like financially, it's like okay, like there is nothing that could come and interrupt this time because
Like
it is
that's how strong
so.
your bond is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
That would
sure.
be because I mean my main thing would be like connecting with people,
Connection.
and that's
Yeah.
just flat around. So like with my family, with my kids, that's really important to me because I'm like I don't want to be disconnected from my family.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So you say that's what it would be like, just being in the present and being like having that super strong connection and
Have yeah, making
bond.
that remembering and creating like magic moments. Like
Yeah.
when you're in them, be in them. That would be
Yeah.
my mom. Like that's the only quality I think would be to be a great mom.
Yeah.
Because if you
Sure.
think if you
That does
grow
a
up,
lot. Just that quality alone does so much.
yeah, because if you think back, like your kids are gonna always have these memories of like my mom was too busy or my mom was like blah blah blah. My mom, all these things like she didn't have
Yeah.
time for me. And although like there is some downfalls there because when you give your kids all the time, like and undivided, like all this stuff, they become like these kids that are so um what is it called? Like I deserve time. Like you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I am the center of the universe. So I think like
And then also in the future, like it could also cause like problems in like relationship
yeah,
wise because like the center of attention, like
yeah,
it could may cause problems, but it's like good at the time, but it could also create like problems in the future. But I
yeah.
feel like
And
that
I
could be with everything. That's like, you know what I mean? You just can't let it
even
stop you here.
yeah, that's the whole thing. Like either way that like anybody, any mom or any kid, anything that is hearing this, like no matter what you do, what you decide, how you raise your kids, there's always going to be a downfall on each part. Like
Yeah.
if you were broke, like a broke mom growing up, or you were broke growing up, and you're like, I'm going to do anything to be rich and make sure my kids have everything. Well,
Yeah.
then you do that, and then there's different issues for your
Yeah.
kids. That's
Because
always something. There's always something to
they're
work
not so
through.
called they're not so much that they're broke, but then they don't have like that mother or father figure in their life. So it's like a
Yeah,
different problem from being broke. I know what you mean
yeah.
for sure. If you could be like, what's stopping you from being that amazing mom, being that present mom, having that connection and bond with your kids? What is stopping you? What's holding you back?
It kind of like the example, like I let things, outside things pull me. So instead of like giving undivided attention, I sometimes I'm pulled by somebody like a text message. Instead of saying 30 minutes, I'll get to that text message. I'm like, oh my God, I got a text message. Like, let me go
Yeah,
check it. Just because I don't know, I have this
like you
thing
feel like you
of
need to respond.
like I need to respond. Everything's like, oh my gosh, let's handle this. But that's just also my personality, which I'm working on making it okay to be 30 minutes late. Like people don't text me until like 24 hours sometimes. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I feel like I have to run to my phone and be like, oh my God, I gotta handle this. And then
yeah.
that interferes with like the connection that I could have with my kids or with my husband or with whoever because I'm so kind of like turning off fires everywhere. Like, why am I trying to be the firefighter here? Just enjoy life.
Yeah, like just be in the moment and appreciate
Yeah,
the now. I
yeah.
for sure I know what you
Appreciate the
mean.
now.
I feel like one thing that's really like helped me, just because like I struggle, I like being in the moment too and being in the present because I like that connection. Like I like my thing too is like connection. I love having that connection, and I feel like what helps me is like just like not being enslaved to the other things that are happening. So like if I want to work on something, I try to have that set. And like I still like I'll be working on something, I just get on my phone for no reason, or like I'll just like start doing other things like the same way you do, just like
Yeah.
for no reason. It's kind of like just like I guess it's a way like to get out of that work and I go do other work. But it's kind of like I'm self sabotaging myself because I'm supposed to be doing this, or then I feel bad after because I'm like, dang, I should have been doing that. But what really helps me is like I tell myself like I can't be enslaved to things that are happening around me because like I can't control what's happening around me. I can't control other things, but I can control how I react. I can't control what I do. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like just by saying like if you want to have like a block time, that's what I just started doing that block times, and it has I feel like it has helped me. Like just having that set time of if you're gonna have a connection with someone, just have that block time of this is what I'm going to do. And then the next thing, if you have a project you want to work on, this is from 10:30 to 11. I'm going to be busy working on my project, and then I'll just work on my project. And then if anyone texts me, they have to get a text after my block time. You know what I mean? And that's what's really helped.
RPM. That's what I think. That's what we're talking about on our mastermind group. Like
Yeah,
blocking out time and making it a priority because, and I'll share like what she shared because that was freaking it, like mind blowing. So she had said that if you would think about like say you make your schedule, your RPM, your block times, right?
yeah,
And then like you put it in your phone and that's your schedule. Imagine that being your like personal assistant. If your personal assistant called you on your phone or texted you and said, hey, at 9 o'clock you have to spend time with your kids. Well, you obviously told your assistant,
yeah,
spending time with my kids is very important, put it on my schedule, but
yeah,
yet you're not doing it. You're like all over. Well, no, that's not how it works. Like you're paying your assistant to do it. Well, you blocked it out. Act like your assistant is telling you, hey, I blocked that time out for you. That's what you need to be doing. And that
yeah,
was like, OMG, like this morning. And I was like, OMG, because I'm always like, it's okay, I'll fit it in somewhere else in the week. But that's not, after she had brought it up and said it's like your personal assistant telling you this is your block, this is your
yeah,
appointment, then why would you not do it? Like if your
yeah, for
personal
sure.
assistant did it. And I'm like, you're right. Like
Yeah,
that mastermind group is intense, but I learned so much when I'm in there.
yeah. I feel I feel I only took it like one time ago, but I feel like I got some pretty cool information, and it was more just like it was just you and her, and she was talking like directly towards you, and I feel like I was even able to get like a little bit out of that, just in
Yeah,
like a little short 30 minutes, and it wasn't even like towards me; it was directed towards you. So I can't even imagine like how much you would learn whenever it's like you in the session.
yeah. In the hot seat, her telling you, tell me what the goals you want to achieve, and you're like, you're not.
I'm not
Hey, dude,
prepared.
I'm not prepared for this. I don't even know what I want. Hey, I have like really small ears in my ear. The earbuds always like come out slowly. Does that happen to you?
No, not. I don't have the AirPod Pros like you. I just have the. I've had two pairs of AirPods, and but none of they never fell out. But I have used your AirPod Pros a couple times, and they did fall out. Actually, those were falling out of my ears.
One time, it almost fell in the toilet, bro.
What? You know?
It
Okay.
fell out of my ear and it bounced on one side of the toilet, the other side of the toilet, and it fell off. I was like, no! And then it fell. And I was like, oh my thank God it didn't fall in the toilet. I mean, I
That
could have
happened to
totally
me one
taken it
time.
out, but I don't want to take that shit out. Like,
So I have
gross.
two stories with that. That happened to me one time. One time with my phone, and it like fell out. I don't know where it was, but it fell, and it like hit the toilet seat, and it like ricocheted and hit the ground, and I like slapped my phone, and it like went
No.
flying into the shower, and it was like doof, and like, but it didn't go into the toilet, and it didn't crack, so it was like all cool. But that's probably why my speakers and everything be all messed up. But then
I
there was
know.
another time where I had my AirPods, and it was the whole thing, like the whole case, and then the two buds, and I had them, and they came flying out of my pocket. I don't know where they came flying from, but they came flying, and it just went straight into the toilet. And I had just
What?
peed too, and I was like, ah! And then I put my hand in it, and I grabbed it, and I like started shaking it.
Yeah. You have to shake it all off and shit. And then I'm all
Yeah.
like, man, I can't believe that shit happened. And then I'm like, damn, I can't believe that shit happened.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It'd be wildin'.
Yeah, for sure.
I just
How
heard the
the
baby goat. We have some baby goats, and they just got born. I just heard it right now. It kind of tripped me out.
Yeah, I can hear him
Yeah.
too, actually.
You can hear him?
Yeah, I think I heard him, unless it was my
Look, look.
headphones. Yeah, I
Yeah.
heard him. They're like,
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're probably like right somewhere pretty close.
oh, okay.
God, what if we had, it'd be crazy, like if we had like free range animals in the front and they just like knew not to go into the road and they could just like they would
That'd
just
be
like
bomb.
walk. That would be
That'd be
pretty
bomb.
fun.
Yeah. And like people get off of their cars and they're like, the animals are coming to them or what?
Yeah. And then you can like do yoga outside and you can have like pig and goat yoga.
Damn, I know. The pig would be like, God, can you believe they almost ran to the fucking road? I cannot
Yeah,
believe them.
they always be walking.
I want to be like, they're grounded.
For granted.
I want to threaten them, but like they don't even know what the fuck.
They're just so oblivious. Is
Yeah.
that the right word?
Yeah, like they're.
I always want to use like big words that I use like whenever whenever we're in school and they used to make us do like vocabulary and they would make us do like these crazy words and there's like some words that stuck with me because I was like, oh, that's cool. Like I like personally I like using words that are like super small but like you don't usually hear, like chin wag. Like what does that even mean? And it just means like chat and conversate. But like because that's what we're doing, we're chatting, we're conversating. It's like something so small, but it's like, can you hear me? I lost you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. I'm getting another phone call. Remember I told you, like...
Oh, yeah, you be real famous.
I know. No one ever calls me until today. Hey,
Until
and
today.
then I'm not even connected. Is it okay? Is it
You
okay?
have the headphones in.
Is the audio okay?
Yeah, the audio is just
Okay,
it's
cool.
It's quite all right. What was I saying?
You were saying about... I don't know. Norma's on. Hi, Norma.
Hi, Norma. I was trying to read it, but I didn't like want to make it too obvious, so I was like...
Ross? Is it Ross? Or... I don't know who is that one. I can't... I'm blind. Like, I'm all...
Yeah, me too. My keratoconus.
Gosh.
Me having to squint.
I'm so embarrassed.
Yeah.
Even when... And then the thing is, like, even with my glasses, I'll be like,
yeah.
what? God, and then I'm even more embarrassed. I'm like, I'm not going to try to fuck up your name because I'm seeing... Like, you know, when you go to the doctor and they say, can you read it? And you're like, I don't know if it's a C or an O or an N.
Yeah, they be having to make the letters real big for me.
Yes!
And I still be getting them wrong.
I'm
like,
just thought, before I used to be embarrassed. The other day I went to the eye appointment and I was like, I can't see it. I can't see it. I can't see it.
And it's like you try to see it so like you won't be like embarrassed, and then they're like, no squinting. They can all see you through like the little hole.
You're like, well, I'm trying to pass my test. That's how I do it in school.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't even care. I'm all. Can we start from the big ones and work back?
Yeah. It's all just one. You're like, I'm actually kind of having trouble saying that one. I feel like that's low-key how I be, though.
Yeah, for sure. That's how I am. But I don't care anymore. Don't even worry about it. They're just... More people are going to go blind because of these screens. We're always on the screen.
Yeah.
The light is bad for our eyes, but oh well.
Oh well, this is the life we live now. This is the life we live now.
I know, we in too deep now.
So I have a couple questions, but this is the main final question.
Okay.
So it's gonna be kind of long, so you might want to put your listening ears on, flip them on. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You've been listening. You've been pretty cool. If you were stranded on an island, what would you prefer to have? A map, a book called 101 Things to Do on a Deserted Island so you'd never get bored, a camera to take selfies, a companion or a buddy, an iPod full of your favorite music, podcasts, or etc., or tools to build a solar water still so you can have plenty for yourself to drink and all the animals around you.
That would be cool, but I couldn't do that. So mine is just a companion.
A companion?
Yeah, and maybe cool. My companion could be like smart and know how to create one of those, and then I'll be lit. Yeah. I'll be like, baby, let's create this. I'm actually have the person in mind. I want to take my husband. He's smart.
I'd want to take.
He could survive.
I feel like if it had to be like someone that we knew, I'd probably take Dad too. My dad.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it was someone else, like I would totally pick like one of those guys that is like on the Nature Geographic channel.
Yeah.
And they're like the Australian people. Oh, those people throw down.
Why?
I don't know. They're like, we've been in the jungle for 3 days, mate. And you're like, what?
You're like, why? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
But like if I had to be, it had to be somebody. It would be my husband. One, because he's pretty cool. Two, he's fucking smart. Three, he'd be able to survive. Like he has like life skills, like hunting life skills. You know what I mean?
Like the survival life skills. I've always wanted to do that. I want to go like in the desert, like with nothing, like just like a knife and like a bottle.
Why?
And like go like for 3 to 6 days and just like stay out there. Like
why?
Just to see like if I could survive. Like I obviously would take like protein bars and water and leave them in my car. But like I would like hike away from my car.
There's actually a show out there. There's actually a show that you have to survive and you have to record yourself like on your phone or something.
Oh, is it Naked and Afraid?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, that's a different one.
but you have to be able to survive and like kill things and like you don't get to take bars, Caleb Santos.
Well, I was just saying, so like in case of emergency, like what if I don't catch an animal when it's like 4 days in and I'm like I'm starving, I'm about to like pass out.
God, you're all fragile.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to kill it. I feel like I wouldn't be able to. I would probably try to find some edible plants or something.
Berries. Eating a bunch of berries.
Hey, God, I'm gonna be tripping out. Hey, but she's supposed to be eating that fucking berry.
Yeah.
Hey, Adriana's on. Hey, Adriana.
What it do? You said you would prefer a companion, and that is like spot on for what I could totally see that for you. I would want a companion too. Like I think my next go-to would be to build a solar system. I would totally want to build a solar system, but like I'm not like I feel like I'd get so bored. Like I would get bored being there alone. Like I need that companionship as well.
That's kind of like Dad. Like that's why we have 2 animals of everything because he's like everybody has to have a boy and a girl.
Yeah. But then if you think about it too, like whenever you're alone for a long period of time, you start getting like lonely. Or like even if you don't start getting lonely, like it starts messing with your mind, like physically. Like if you get put in the insane asylum or you get put in like the hole in jail, which is like where you're alone, like
even if you're out like in the sunlight on the island.
What? No, well I'm saying like when you're alone. I don't know, but that obviously plays more effect to it. But just being alone in general, like it plays like effects on your mind.
Well, that's kind of like
you stop learning how to function with people. You know what I mean?
That's kind of like the movie, the Wilson.
Oh yeah, that movie's crazy.
What is the movie called?
It's called Castaway with Tom Hanks.
Castaway. He was on the island by himself and
for years.
And Wilson was his friend. He had to make a friend.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think I'd make it like how what's it called then? Well, what's his name? What was his real name? Or not his real name. His real name's Tom Hanks, but in the actor, do you know the film? Do you know what his name is?
I don't know. Anyway,
I wouldn't be able to make it that long. I feel like after like a year, I'd be like, they're not coming for me.
Yeah, for real. God, I wouldn't even be a fighter. I'd just be like, lay there and die. I'd be like, I'm just here. I don't know. I'm such not a fighter. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. You know, you say shit, and then when you're actually there, shit be going down different. You know that.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, today's Taylor's birthday. Let's sing happy birthday.
What's up?
You ready?
Yeah.
Happy birthday from the Pluckers crew. Oh, no, never mind. I'll sing it, though.
You want some Pluckers or what?
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay, Ellie wants Pluckers. Ready, Ellie? You want to sing happy birthday?
Yeah.
Happy birthday from the Santos crew. I wish it was your birthday because we could party too.
What? Yay. I appreciate it, dog. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you. I appreciate it. This was
there more questions?
Amazing. Huh?
Yeah, this was pretty cool. Have your birthday chat.
Yeah. Would you feel like it's just like kind of chill, catching a vibe, sharing our personal insight on life?
Yeah, for sure. Just like sharing your experiences.
Yeah.
What you learned. Because you can learn a lot from somebody who's been there. That's the thing.
Exactly. Or even maybe you're not going through it now, but in the future you'll be like, dang, I remember someone talking about that.
Yeah.
Like you'll store it in your unconscious mind.
Yeah. That happened to me.
Yeah. So is there any questions you'd like to ask me or any advice or anything you'd like to tell me or give out to the world?
Yeah, I would actually like to ask you a question reverse, what you asked me.
Okay, yeah.
What was the question? Let me see if I can remember it. What is it?
Which one was it?
So what is your biggest challenge What's your biggest challenge of me being your mom?
Like, as you being my mom?
Yeah.
Like, what's that challenge?
Yeah.
I don't know. I actually haven't thought of that. That's a really good question. I think I would have to say, I guess just having like that trust. I feel like it's there majority of the time, but like you said, like it's just like that unconscious. Like I kind of like have that barrier up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what if like it's just all like a dream and it's like poof, like, and then it all goes back. You know what I mean? Like like it's kind of like that. Like it's like that type of moment, and it's not like it's never like really there. But like sometimes when like whenever like you be mad or something, I'm like, she's coming back. She comes back, and I like start doing stuff. I'll be like trying to do stuff, or like whenever there's a long period like of silence, that really trips me out. I don't know why. But that's just like with anything. Like if we're like talking, like, and then there's just like silence for like over 10 minutes, and it's like it has to be like a certain type of silence, like a weird silence, and I feel like something crazy is gonna happen. Like, but that's just like with everyone, I think. But I do have it like a lot with you. Maybe it's because we spend more time with each other though.
Yeah.
But I think that would be the only challenge is like having that trust. But what's helped me overcome that is I guess just like. Just not so much holding you accountable to that because you were growing and learning, and now we've learned from that, and we obviously came far. And I feel like our relationship is pretty cool. We can touch virtual hands to show that we are connecting. If y'all haven't seen that movie, what's the movie called?
Ellie, what was that movie called that we watched yesterday?
Ron Goes Wrong.
Something something about the bot goes wrong. It's on Disney Plus. I don't know.
It's
Maybe
a robot
you can share
movie.
it.
Ron,
It's a really good robot movie.
I'll share it in the link. I'll make sure to put it in the description for sure, so y'all go watch that movie. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I feel like my thing would be how I overcame it is just like forgetting and not holding you accountable and like appreciating that the mom you were, even though you weren't the mom I wanted you to be, and I wanted you, like, I had you like on this like amazing like mom, and I wanted you to like live up to that expectation. Like obviously that you're just not gonna be able to because it's like I had you as this perfect mom, but also like just appreciating that you were the mom you were because now I'm the person I am today. You know what I mean? Like so that's I feel like that is
effective blamingness. Yeah.
Yeah, effective blaming for sure.
What is your perfect mom?
My perfect mom? I think for sure mine would just be having like that connection. Creating magic moments. I guess just having that connection, the understanding it.
Yeah.
The adventure. I think
have.
adventure. I've added adventure to like what I want to, and fun to my list of things I want to add to like qualities of my life.
Yeah.
So I feel like I for sure want to add that in the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you talk about this and you say like a mom and all this stuff, but I think probably anybody who watches this doesn't know that you didn't have that before.
Yeah, for sure.
That wasn't who I was before.
Yeah, it was wild. Got some crazy stories.
Maybe we'll share some. Crazy.
Hasn't always been all sunshine and rainbows.
Heck no.
Had to go through the thunderstorm first.
Long as a fucking hurricane.
Tsunami.
It lasted years. Years. Was that all the questions?
Yeah, that's all the questions I have for you, but is there any other questions you'd like to ask me?
No. Reverse? Oh, yeah, we were asking the questions. I think I asked you the same questions in reverse.
Yeah. You'd only ask me the first one. What are some of the challenges I have as you being my mom, and how did I overcome that?
Was there ever a time that you felt worried and scared for me? Did you ask? You didn't ask that, did you?
I didn't. I actually skipped that question, but I will answer it for you.
Cool.
I think there actually has been quite a few times. There's been quite a few times. I think where to start. No, but there has been. I can't really think of anything like off the top of my head, but I think just whenever you were like younger and you were like out wilding and partying and you'd be like drinking it up. I remember one time we were in the car together and you were driving and you was swaying in that thing. We were like on the middle of the road hitting the turns. I was pretty scared. I was scared for you, but I was also scared for my own life. I was like, I don't want to die.
Like this I think she actually know.
I think just like other times were also I guess just like where you haven't been like mentally and emotionally good, like straight, just like like just like life happens, you've been through life, and then I feel like you had to survive that, but through that time you were like really down. I've been worried for you there, and I think just ways of overcoming it is just in a way like appreciating the now and learning from what your mistakes are and trying not to make those same mistakes. And if I am, knowing what doesn't work, like for you, and maybe it will like be the same for me. So I feel like that has been something for sure. And I think, I feel like that's it. I mean, we've had some pretty crazy moments that I've been scared, but nothing like super grand. You know what I mean? Just like the scares here and there.
Gotta go PTSD. You're like,
Yeah.
We laugh about it. Have you seen those memes? You're like, the Mexicans are the only ones that can laugh about
Laugh.
how you fucking child abuse and shit. We laugh because what the hell are we gonna do about it? We can't go back and change it.
Yeah. Just gotta accept it. It's like those two stories. I don't know. I'm gonna go on another story, but this is. Have you heard about those two people? Or I don't know if you probably ever heard of them, but I'm gonna tell you like a little short story. There's a group of kids and they had an alcoholic father, and they grew up, and one of the kids was a successful business owner, and he was wealthy. He had his mind right. He had his goals aligned. He was full of vitality, right? And then his brother, they were both the same age. He was like a complete alcoholic. He was in and out of jail. And then they asked him, like they didn't get him together, but they asked him the same exact question. They're like, why are you the person you are? Like, why are you the person you are today? And the successful one responded was, my dad was an alcoholic. I had no choice. And then they asked the other one.
Successful, he had to be different.
And they asked the other brother, which was like in jail at the time, and they're like, "Why are you the way you are? Like, why are you the way you are today?" And he was like, "My dad was an alcoholic. I had no choice." And it's like they both had the same answer, but the way they thought was like a whole different mindset and led to a whole different reality, a whole different lifestyle. And that's just like kind of how it is. Like you have to. It's the way you think. Like if you live in that like victim mentality, like, oh, why did my parents beat me? Why did my parents not show me love? Why did my parents like never there? What did my parents even love me? Like if you stay in that mindset, like you're not gonna get anywhere. Like you have to. Maybe that is how it went down, and you just have to accept it, and then you learn from it, and then you have to be like, well, I don't want to be like that. So what's the opposite of that?
Yeah.
I need to be someone that's caring, that's loving, that's appreciative, that's trusting, that's warmth, that's like comforting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's actually how I was before. Like I had that same mindset of both of both of the boys. Like, well, that's how my mom raised me. That's how I raised my kids, and that was my whole thought. Like I didn't have another option. Like I didn't even know there was different parenting options. Like what the heck? Like
what the heck?
What the heck? I didn't even know that was a thing. Like people parent different. Like I knew that, but in a way it was kind of like that's not how Mexicans parent their child, or like this whole like aspect of who you think you are. And then when I started changing it and I saw that it was different, and it is different, a lot different, but you can just change that. And nobody even fucking cares. It's so crazy.
You live in your own life. Like, you can make your own choices.
Yeah. So it was just like the first half of my parenting was because my mom is because I'm how I was raised. This is how I was raised. Then I switched it and it was like, it's because it's how I was raised. Now I have to change that. Because I was raised this way, I raised my kids this way. So I have had both of them, which is crazy to think. Crazy. Yeah. Ellie found the movie for you, and it's called Ron's Gone Bad.
Ron's Gone Bad?
Gone Bad. Let me see if I can show you.
Ron's Gone Bad on Disney Plus.
Yeah. That's the movie about.
Yeah.
What is it about again?
It's kind of like, it's basically like kind of showing you the inside of the future in a way.
Yeah.
It's like a robot movie, and how you have like your robots and how you're like your personal robots, like how your kids have your personal robots, and they're like your best friend basically. And it's kind of just like an eventful, like how the one robot that the kid got, the main character, his bot was like messed up and it was defected, and he had to like train it, and it's kind of just like the story of like what happens and like how the company's upset because the bot's not supposed to be defective. It's supposed to be like your best friend. So it's kind of just like that story, and there's a lot of lessons in there that can be learned for sure.
Yeah,
and it's like a really cool movie.
Lessons.
Yeah, and it's a cool movie, and it's kind of true because it like kind of shows you like where we're headed to the future. Like if like like in a way,
Which is,
like
which is kind of scary. You're like, what?
yeah, the metaverse, NFTs,
I mean,
all this crazy stuff.
yeah, but I mean,
It's where the future's headed.
Yeah, exactly. Where the future is headed. But
Yeah.
I mean, what we got to do, we just got to jump on the bandwagon and go with it.
Yep. We gotta
There ain't no
adapt.
stopping it. There ain't no
We
stopping
gotta
it for
adapt.
sure.
Yeah. So, is there any advice you'd like to give out to myself or just the listeners before
It
we?
would be my advice to you mainly and to anybody who wants to take it would be do whatever the fuck you want because people are going to talk and say whatever they want. Everybody has an opinion, right? Everybody has
Yeah.
an idea of how you should live your life. But what I've learned is like you have the ability to live whatever life you want. Doesn't matter who is saying what. Like
For
block all
sure.
that shit out and just keep going the way you want to
Tunnel
go.
vision.
Yeah,
Do what
that's
makes you happy.
yeah, do what makes you
Yeah.
happy. And sometimes you don't know that. Like I didn't know that for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know like I could live the life I want, not like the life the expectation my parents put on me or the expectations life, like the expectations of life. Like you need to get married, you need to have a baby, you need to go to college, like all these
Yeah.
expectations of what life should be when life can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. Right? As long as you're good, as long as you're giving good to the world, right? You
Yeah.
don't do the opposite of that because that's what
Yeah.
life is about, like giving
Yeah.
back
When
to
you give life, you
humanity.
get life. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would
Yeah.
be my advice: to do whatever the fuck you
That's
want.
good advice. That's like it sounds cliche, like do whatever the fuck you want, but like it's real advice and it's raw and it's clear. It's tunnel vision and everyone's gonna talk. Everyone's gonna say whatever they want, but you got to continue doing what you want
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was an amazing time talking to you. I appreciate you connecting with me and talking, being our first podcast guest, our first show in general. This has been quite an amazing time. It's only starting. This is only the beginning. I hope to have you back for sure in the future. It was an
I would
amazing
love to
time.
do that.
Thanks for having me.
All
And
right.
thanks for coming, not for having me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm glad that I could do this, although I'm like all over the place and
You having
you
different
know,
bunch of stories.
but it's cool. It's cool hanging out, connecting with you, and hearing your thoughts and hearing
Yeah.
your perspective in the way you saw through life. I mean, I can really see a lot when you share with me like how how your perception is of like your childhood. But it was really cool to connect with you again
Yeah.
in front of in front of anybody who is willing to listen, right? Which is
Yeah.
that's kind of hard because you're like,
Yeah.
dang, she was a fucked
It's
up.
not only being vulnerable like with the person, but they're taking a chance like a lot of other people can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can hear it and be like, dang, that girl was she was
Messed
not ready
up.
for no baby.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank
Appreciate you.
you. Bye.